Hello and welcome to this episode of Pajama Chat. Today we're going to be looking at a gigantic cooking pot here in the meadowy, mountainy area of Mondstadt. So first and foremost, as we enter the area, we encounter Hilichurl ruins? Question mark? There's a lot of Hilichurl activity in this area. Let's just go with that. So another thing that we encounter are a gigantic treasure chest in this area. Rude. Get out of my way. And this has, of course, some sealies that you're going to use to try and navigate the area. But the interesting thing before we get to the giant cooking pot are all these swords and these oddball tree pieces that have been turned into some kind of totem. If I remember correctly, there's an oculus up there. There's a special sword up here that's part of a quest. It's a whole thing. I don't quite remember the details. Honestly, it's been a couple of years, cough cough, since I did 1.0 content. But I do remember this was a thing. Now, if we turn just left of where we were at, we go into some more dense Hilichurl ruins. Now, we know in modern day, from the current stories, cough cough spoiler, that Hilichurls are Conrians. They are the not pure-blooded inhabitants that went to Conria. So Conria has natives that are born within Conria's nation walls, and then they have people, immigrants, who have come from the other nations to Conria, and that's what these people are. They are half-bloods. They are people from Mondstadt who went to Conria. They are those people. So we have a gigantic cooking pot for some reason here within the area of all these Hilichurls. What are they cooking? I don't really know, but they have a gigantic cooking pot, and it's bubbling, and, like, it's doing something. And then over here on this side, there's some kind of, like, Hilichurl training arena. So, like, there's been a couple events where you fight Hilichurls to, like, get stronger within this area. We haven't had one in a really long time. But that's what this is for, apparently, is like training Hilichurls to get stronger. But the weirdest one is, like, we have seen multiple camps of Hilichurls, some of which do have cooking pots, but none of them have a gigantic, crudely fashioned cooking pot that has a gigantic, it doesn't even have a fire. It has fire flowers underneath it. And that's what is making it be heated. Like, look at that. It's not even like proper flames holding this thing together. It's literally just like, is that not weird or what? So they have some semblance of sentience to know that, like, hey, we need to cook something because we like cooking our food. So we have this gigantic cooking pot, which is just so many layers of, like, I don't want to say silliness because it's them doing something that's, like, really cool and interesting. So that's fun. The arena is interesting too, of course. So the second thing that I wanted to show you in conjunction with, like, the Hilichurl areas, this is connected, of course, to Cape Oath. So the other area is this spring. So as we leave our Hilichurl cooking pot camp, the other thing that's neat about this section is, if you can see on my mini map in the upper corner, there is a Hilichurl circle icon. That's because the unusual Hilichurl will appear in this area sometimes. He has several different locations that he can appear in. And this is one of them, where he'll just appear somewhere in this area to oversee what's going on. I don't think he's here right now. Might be one step higher. But the Hilichurl, the unusual Hilichurl, only appears within 1.0 areas. So Liyue and Mondstadt, he is not programmed to appear in any other area. In Inazuma, Fontaine, Natlan, Sumeru, no. He only appears in these two areas, these two nations. So again, bunch of Hilichurl ruins. So we go across to the other side of the valley, and there's a bunch of Hilichurls, like, on guard. This reminds me a lot of the goblin moblin creatures from from Zelda, where like maybe they're taking a little too much from the Zelda Breath of the Wild type things where they have camps and stuff. So they have huts and stuff. The huts and stuff still continue throughout our areas, which is completely fine. But like, because it's a gigantic base camp, we have not seen anything else like this in the game. We see small camps, but not gigantic camps like this. We do see buildings like this that they've built up in other areas. So like they built stones, they built platforms, they built buildings like this. So the Hilichurls are capable of pretty good architecture. Like, look at this wood. The walls may be like randomly pieced together, but the flooring is like top notch. So that's interesting. And then they have like mirroring totems and stuff. Again, we assume that Hilichurls are the ones building this because this is where they live. But if you have a daily in Mondstadt, you know that a ruin guard often appears in this area as part of one of your dailies to do. But yeah, this is the Hilichurl camp that is here is just, it's so oddball. It almost seems out of place because again, we don't have like, this is like a city. We don't see city type structures like this often outside of this area of the game. We see them in a couple. We see small camps, like I said, small buildings and stuff. I can think of a few that are within Inazuma. But yeah, we don't have anything quite like that. I mean, they have like an entry street. They have watchtowers. Very interesting stuff. And then to make it even a bit more like slightly interesting is if you follow, so here's our swords and stuff. If you follow it up the hill, this leads to one of the domains, to the electric cube. But like, look how far their structures and stuff go. And then all of a sudden we have a little bit of Paimon type ruins up here. That's what that architecture pillar is. See, we've got a pillar that's, you know, it's still Hilichurl based, but like, this is Paimon ruins. That's why, like, in my mind, I think of them as Conria ruins because we know that Hilichurls are Conrian. But you go even farther up and like the ruins do continue up because, again, these old ruins go really far. Now, I've gotten to the idea that likely these ruins are part of the Nation of the Sealies, because we do know that the Nation of the Sealies existed across the whole of Teyvat. So we follow it up. Sorry, I fell down there. And then we get to another domain. And the domain, again, has like Paimon type ruins and stuff around it. And then, of course, the domain buildings themselves are very old Paimon type ruins, Four Realms Gateway type stuff. It's just, I would like answers, and I don't feel like the game devs are going to give obvious answers to my questions. I believe this is, yeah, the Eagle's Gate. So this is one of the areas where one of the gods that protected Mondstadt lived. So like maybe there's going to be sections where we'll see like where the eagle lived beyond just the Eagle's Gate itself. If you guys are curious to see inside any of the domains, there is a few things of the domains that I do want to show at some point later on. But some domains have like Conria, Paimon type ruins, and then some of them don't. So there's that. Now that it's daytime, we're able to see things a bit more clearly. So this is a separate section. So we started off here at this yellow circle. We crossed into this section, which is very largely just Hilichurl stuff. And then on the other side of the mountains, see just the other side of the mountains, there's the little lake that we were at. And then just immediately on their side, there are the Paimon ruins here. And like, look, you can see this was like a ritualistic type building of some sort. Like it was something. And to me, what makes this place really interesting is actually this gigantic circle because these gigantic circles usually had like a watchtower or they were something of importance. They're like a city center type object in the center of them. So we don't know what this one was because it's all destroyed. But you can see that there's like a square right here and then another concentric circle that went inside. So like, what was this? What was this statue? What was the building piece that was inside of here? We don't know. But we do know that like the Paimon ruins have these concentric circles and stuff to them. So that's, I've been spotted. So that's something. And like we have a street that leads to it with some stairs even, and then we have ground that covered over it. But then we have some more symmetrical pillars on each side and then some more stairs. So the reason that I think of these as Conria and Paimon ruins both, and I still haven't quite decided what terminology to use for them because we don't really know the era, is because some of the designs that we see here are Conrian-esque. Because we know that Conria really liked the cardinal, if you know what a compass rose looks like, a lot of Conria designs based around that. However, these designs are based around this Celtic knot, the symbol on Paimon's belly. So there's 3 and then there's the 4 that I mentioned before. So that's why like this is more Paimon ruin, more Temple of the Seelie or City of the Seelies, Nation of the Seelies type thing. So yeah, I do remember that I saw at one point someone on the internet did a post where all of the ruin guards that are no longer functioning, what direction are they pointing? And a lot of them are kind of pointing at Celestia, or our idea of where Celestia is in the sky, which is fun to me. All right, that is everything I wanted to show you guys for today with a little Hilichurl civilization that exists out here in Mondstadt. They're not hurting anyone. They are on the way to Cape Oath, so if you continue to follow this pathway, it does lead you eventually over to Cape Oath. So, if you like this kind of content, feel free to look around on my channel. I have several other Genshin videos. Most of them are still all within Mondstadt, but eventually we will be getting to the rest of the nations. So look forward to that. Again, let me know if you guys are curious to see anything that is within the domains themselves. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely evening. Bye.